end-to-end thriller in the Brazilian capital of Brasilia. Who said games not featuring the big teams were boring? Switzerland beat Ecuador with a goal with the last kick of the game. And the world watches with bated breath to see which France will turn up later tonight. The 1998 champions begin against the minnows Honduras. And the final game of the night will see the Albiceleste at their home of their bitter rivals. Can Leo Messi inspire his fellow Argentines at the Maracana against debutants Bosnia-Herzegovina? Hello and welcome to the beautiful game here on CNN IBN. It's Sanjeev Mukherjee here, and joining me as is always, Novi Kapadia and Karim Ben-Sharifa, two gentlemen who look slightly more rested, but I'm sure you guys are up for the challenge later tonight. Two big games, France and of course Argentina. But before we come back to Novi and Karim, let's take you through the thriller that just ended moments ago. Switzerland and Ecuador have produced the game of the tournament so far. Yes, who expected these two to entertain, but have they entertained or not? Switzerland winning it in added time, literally. A frenzied start in the Brazilian capital as both teams went on the rampage. Sebastian Lichtsteiner, Zerdan Shaqiri and Granit Xhaka had the South Americans in a spot of bother on more than one occasion. But against the run of play, Ecuador went ahead. A perfect free kick from out wide, and Emer Valencia nodded in completely unmarked there. Yet again, a failure of defense which is being seen in this World Cup. 1-0 at the break, and the Swiss were level 3 minutes within 3 minutes of the restart. Substitute Mehmedi nodding home from a pinpoint corner. Both teams gave it their all, and in the dying seconds, Seferovic smashed home from close range for the Swiss to live it up in double delight, picking up their first points of this tournament. All right, let's take you through how this match figured out as far as the statistics are concerned. Yes, Switzerland having more share of the ball, 57 to 43%. Both teams took their chances. 18 shots for Switzerland. This is the highest after Holland. This is the number of shots which has been taken in one particular match by a team. 10 for Ecuador. 12 on target for Switzerland, which shows that at least they have more than 60% of accuracy when it comes to taking the shots. But Novi Kapadia, an absolute entertainer. No big teams, no big names, but this is what the World Cup is all about. There are two teams, Switzerland, who were known for their defense, not for attacking much, but obviously Hitzfeld has changed the team around. And Ecuador, yes, they lost the game, but they also did produce their best, and this was a classic entertainer.
A thriller at Brasilia. And, you know, I mean, this is now Switzerland. They are benefiting from their youth development program, the under-17 team which won the 2009 World Cup, a multiracial team, and full credit to Ottmar Hitzfeld, the mathematics teacher earlier. He got all his equations right. But, you know, Sanjeev, for me, the man of the match was the referee, Ravshan Irmatov. The way he gave the advantage in the end, which led to the decisive 3 points. He salvaged the pride for Asian referees after the Japanese referees got quite a bashing in the world media.
Right, yes, the referees indeed are doing their bit to entertain us and also bring in the little bit of a sword of controversy then and there. But Karim, obviously this is a match which is an out-and-out entertainer, both teams playing all out. Yes, Ecuador, we can put them in the spot by saying that they sat back to relax after taking the lead. But the fact of the matter is, number of interesting characters which we've seen come out in this match so far. We saw the Freiburg goal machine, Mehmedi. The moment he came in, he just with that fantastic header, he made sure that the scores were level. Also, Lichtsteiner, always a threat down the flanks.
It's Hitzfeld, you know, this is sometimes the luck of coaches. Two substitutions, both of them they scored. But what struck me in this Swiss team is the fullbacks. Rodriguez and Lichtsteiner was absolutely strong defensively, but very, very good going forward. And so far, we had seen many matches. These are the two best side backs or wing backs that we had seen so far, because they are always joining the attack. Again, if you can add to that the Illner, which he can shoot from outside the box. He was very, very much involved in every action of Switzerland.
Right.
And of course, Shaqiri.
Right.
So what this team of Switzerland
And the commentators did not get Shaqiri's pronunciation correct. Why is it happening like this? Come on.
Well, we have to. But the most important, what this Swiss team need is a very good striker. That's what they are missing. Otherwise, they defend well, they build well, they create chances. It just they don't have that quality striker who can finish off the
They
job.
surely need somebody of the class of Joel Campbell, as we saw some time back. But moving on, two-time champions Argentina begin their World Cup campaign in the late night kickoff at the home of their bitter rivals. Yes, the historic Maracana will host the game at Rio de Janeiro, and it is a sellout as the football-loving Brazilians will be queuing up to see the magic of Leo Messi against Edin Dzeko and his Bosnian team that topped their qualifying group. Let's listen in now to the Argentine coach Alejandro Sabella.
Creativo, un jugador que le gusta.
I think Bosnia is really creative. They have players who have good technique. They really can come forward and are really good at attacking. And they have had really good results against Mexico and Ivory Coast. So I'm sure they're quite optimistic.
All right, let's take you through the likely lineup. This is Karim Ben-Sherifa's starting 11 for the Argentines. Obviously, Romero there. Rojo, a certain concern out there at the left for the Argentine defense, but Demichelis, Fernandez and Zabaleta. Up front, Mascherano, perhaps the most important role as he provides the space between the midfield, between the defense and the creative midfield. Gago on the right with his pinpoint accuracy in diagonal balls. Angel Di Maria, one of the most important playmakers in this generation and perhaps not as praised as some of his far inferior rivals. Gonzalo Higuain, Sergio Aguero and above Leo Messi. A fantastic attacking line. All right, Nomi Kapadia, Alejandro Sabella, a question which needs to be asked time and again. What are we expecting from him? Because obviously he will be playing with this 4-3-3 formation which the Argentines are used to. But it seems that he's he's injected a lot of pace into this 4-3-3 formation, something which we've not seen in Argentine teams of late.
Yes, it's a much more very fine attacking unit, and with Angel Di Maria providing so much width. Little worries, Fernando Gago, is he fully fit? Higuain complaining of an ankle injury. But I think they have depth. They have a lot of depth, and even if Lavezzi or anybody else comes on, I think Argentina's attacking football should win the hearts of even their biggest rivals, the Brazilians, who always admire good football.
All right, Alejandro Sabella is not here, so we still have, remember, Karim Ben-Sherifa here. Karim is going to take us through the tactical breakdown. Karim, Argentina versus Bosnia 4-3-3. Yes, the formations might be the way they are, but Higuain and Aguero to flank Messi, who could be playing as the false nine. But more importantly, Di Maria is the creative midfielder. The moment they go up, he actually becomes like a fourth forward. Just tell us, how difficult is it to actually control this sort of a formation?
Well, we do expect that Bosnia will be defending slightly deep, all right, and will be also playing with only one striker, Dzeko, and defending with 5 players. So it's going to be, for Argentina, the task is how to break a compact defense midfield of Bosnia.
Right.
What we will see here, of course, we have the three strikers, and Mascherano will sit down. Zabaleta will be moving more than Rojas, and then we will have Di Maria. So it's very important for Argentina,
right,
to break that compact defense. What we will see a lot of movement between these 3 players, but also we will see Messi dropping in, and Higuain and Aguero both, they will be coming inside. But especially sometimes we will see Aguero or Higuain going on the flank,
right,
to draw especially the right back,
right,
and then we will see Di Maria doing those runs through the channel
forward.
And then of course that's where it will be
very difficult,
very deadly.
But on the other hand, yes, there is a certain weakness. This is where it is. Rojo, he is not really, it's a sort of an untested combination out there on the left for Argentina. And the second part is that the moment they play like this, they leave a lot of space on their own wings for the opposition like Bosnia to exploit, and they have very strong players. Dzeko is very powerful, very good in the air. that could be a little bit of a headache for Sabella.
Where Argentina have to be careful, because teams who defend slightly deep, they create, by dropping, they create spaces where they can use either basically on the midfield or behind Zabaleta as well, and they counter into, they try to get to get into those spaces by the moves of the strikers as well, or by the runs of the supporting strikers. But what is important, why this side is very dangerous, is we just talked. The strength of Argentina is Di Maria doing the runs and joining the attack, which leave this space, and if they can, on quick counter-attack, moving on this left side, a bit like how Italy did with the left side of England, then of course they will be creating an extra player, an extra numbers to outnumber the left side of Argentina.
Right, Rojo might be in a similar position like Leighton Baines was in last night, but Novi Kapadia, on the other hand, the biggest talking point whenever Argentina comes to play in a World Cup, and more so specifically in Brazil, is Leo Messi. This is simply the biggest stage. Also the fact that they are the biggest rivals, Argentina and Brazil, and the pressure obviously on Messi to stand up to the comparison of Diego Armando Maradona. Nothing could be a better opportunity than this to start off with what could be possibly their toughest group game.
Definitely their toughest group game, and the fact that in enemy territory, if Messi can turn it on, and really all the doubting Jonas all over the world who said he's never shown it up in the World Cup, all of that will be forgotten if Messi can really turn on the magic. But it also, for me, slight worry, Bosnia, their first World Cup match, that they don't freeze on the occasion. Especially if Argentina launch all-out attacks as we think they will in the beginning. Lots of young Bosnian players, how they will cope with the pressure, the match will depend on that.
Right, Karim, also the fact that yes, this is the World Cup, national teams are playing, the top 32 teams are playing, but one cannot really take out the equation of club football. Also comparisons will come. The way Argentina plays, and as you showed us right now on the telestrator, the way Argentina build up Sadan, fast counter-attacks using the breadth of the field, using these empty spaces, it's more or less resembles sometimes a Real Madrid attacking line.
In a way, yes. When they go on a counter, especially Di Maria is in that Real Madrid system. They have players who can do similar job of Ronaldo, of Benzema and Bale. They are all fast, they are all nippy and very technical. But they can also play the game of Barcelona as well, on building up and keeping possession. Because if and that's what I'm expecting, because we are not expecting that Bosnia will come at Argentina. We are expecting that Bosnia will be compact, and then Argentina will have to build through combination. One advantage that may have Argentina, and here the referee will have a big important role, is that most of their players, especially the front three and also Di Maria, are very good dribblers. So here Bosnia have to be very careful of not getting quickly yellow cards and maybe red cards. So this is also a weapon that can be used by Argentina.
Another one to both of you, Karim, you first. Would you play Messi slightly deeper so that he operates at his own pace, starts the build-up and actually orchestrates the entire forward line from a little bit deeper inside his own
That's absolutely what the way they play, Argentina. Messi starts as a forward, but he's a false nine. So he will drop in, he will go in, and they exchange these players, Higuain, Aguero and Messi. They start, basically Messi is the middle one, but they do exchange sometimes position. Sometimes Messi will drop deep in the midfield, and both of them will get closer, like playing with two strikers and behind on the whole Messi. So there is a lot of combinations that will happen on that final third of Bosnia.
Final third of Bosnia. Also, as we rounded off, Novi, big opportunity there for Bosnia. Not only the fact that it is their first World Cup, indeed a historic occasion for them, but they do have certain set of accomplished players. Edin Dzeko, the goal machine for Manchester City, has done so well in the EPL, but the fact is that he's so good in the air, and yes, there are simply cracks in the Argentine defense. Who knows? If he can poach that first goal, it could turn out to be a difficult opener for Argentina.
He's excellent with his back to the goal also. He's got support from Ibisevic as well as Miriam Pjanic. So they can be very dangerous, and Argentine defense is not their strongest point. But like what Karim was saying, with Messi, I think Sabella has got it right. He's building the team around Messi like Bilardo did it with Maradona 28 years ago. So he let Messi run full throttle at the team.
And he's also as attacking as Cesar Luis Menotti when he got Mario Kempes to orchestrate the 78 World Cup win.
So we've hoped that Argentina can live up to their billing of favourites. Several teams we've seen in this World Cup haven't lived up to that billing, including the host Brazil.
Including the host Brazil. On that note, let's see how our social media, whether it's living up to its expectation or not. You can join in the conversation here on CNN IB, and you can tweet to us with the hashtag World Cup. First one comes in for Akshay Kanitkar. He says Honduras is probably the weakest team in this World Cup. Yes, they are. That's what the evidence seems to be like. Now, I am Gunjan Grunge. Strange name there. World Cup, we have been waiting to see Messi kick the ball with the Argentine jersey. Who isn't, Gunjan? Everybody is waiting with bated breath for Messi. Aditya 0912 says Javier Mascherano will have to play his socks out in that Argentine midfield. Well, he'll be playing from a little bit deeper. And finally, Let's Do Tweet says the World Cup throws up an intriguing game, all eyes glued. And finally, we come to what is our tweet of the day. It comes from Akansha Taker 001, says these small matches like Switzerland versus Ecuador are better than the big matches. That is, in fact, Akansha, the essence of the World Cup. Remember, you can join in this conversation. All you got to do is tweet to us here at IBN Live using the hashtag World Cup. On that note, it's time for a short break on this show. But when we come back, we talk to you about Karim Ben-Sharifa's favorite team, the Les Bleus, France. They're also opening their campaign tonight. Welcome back to the beautiful game. Now, coming up next on the World Cup menu are the 1998 champions France against Minnows Honduras. Now, France, with a galaxy of stars, will want to start on a positive note after having a woeful record in the opening games of World Cups since the 98 win. Importantly, they will want to manage the ghost of the 2010 campaign, where infighting saw them exit in the first round. Honduras, on the other hand, will bring their bruising game, which they are being accused of at this point of time, to the park, and France, who are without Franck Ribéry, will have to be careful. All right, time now to get you the French 11. This is the starting lineup on your screens, and guess what? Yes, Karim Ben-Sharifa has got it spot on. His likely 11, which came up on the 7:30 p.m. show earlier this evening, is actually the starting lineup for there. Patrice Evra, Sakho, Varane and Debuchy. Johan Cabaye are right there in the center. Up there, Matuidi, Pogba, Valbuena, Griezmann and Benzema. Karim Ben-Sharifa, expectations from France. The last time we saw them play in a World Cup, it was abysmal for former world champions to not only go out, but to the fact that they imploded. There was infighting, they came to blows with the coach, players were sent off. Are you expecting something better this time?
I feel so, because Deschamps is maybe the first coach that didn't select the best talents, but tried to select the best group who will live together in a good way. Because France, since they won the World Cup 98 and the Euro 2000, they never had a big impact, and most of the time they have lost the first game of the group in the World Cup. We had seen a fantastic lineup. That midfield, since the turning point for them was the last game against Ukraine, where they played for the first time.
But no Giroud and Benzema. If I could ask you, a lot of fans are asking, wanting me to ask you this.
It's because both Giroud and Benzema, they play on that target number 9 player. And why I feel he will prefer this three is because Honduras is a very physical team.
Right.
You know, Giroud will need crosses. Maybe he will suit some other games.
Right.
But for this game, France have to go with a good build-up, good passing, and penetrations. And the front three that he chose today are known of their mobility.
Right. So basically, you're trying to say also the fact that other than this, Giroud is a handle me with care sort of a commodity. But on the other hand, yes, a lot of controversy we've seen with France earlier times. But Pogba will obviously play a very, very important role in that lineup. So will be Debuchy. That's what we expect. That's the least we can expect. But The fact is that there is still controversy. Didier Deschamps complained to FIFA that apparently there was a drone which was spying on French practice sessions. Now, what's happening? This is certainly not Afghanistan.
These are mind games which go on in every World Cup and with coaches. So, I mean, this just adds to the excitement of the World Cup. But I also think France will do well because they have lots of young players with fire in their belly. Pogba, Matuidi, and I'm looking forward to Varane, who could emerge as one of the young stars of the World Cup. We've seen a couple of them, Campbell, Xherdan Shaqiri. So, Varane could marshal this defense. In every area, France have lots of young talent. And this team, as Karim has said, their importance is the team rather than the individuals. And they have to get off to a good start. They've seen what Switzerland and Ecuador are like. Right. France have to get off with a win and a couple of goals.
Well, I can certainly promise all our viewers that if France does get off to a win, not Novi, but in fact it will be Karim and Sharifa who will be jumping up in joy and doing some French dancing steps tomorrow morning when we come back. So that's it on the show then. Thank you, gentlemen. Karim and Novi, thank you very much for joining us on the show. But